Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the creation page. And I'd like to recap on what our last video was showing us. The plutonium, poisonous metals, and uranium has opened up the cells of the granite rock, the mountains. And as a result, we have water and the decaying mountain become soil. Together, they work together to become soil. Also, they work with the atmosphere and the sunlight to begin what I call the development of the cells. Cells are circles. As you'll remember in a previous video where we talked about there is nothing, no form in nature that does not obey the straights of the cube and the roundness of the perfect sphere. These are the only two perfect forms in all of nature. All other forms come from them. Just as the pyramid, you put 6 pyramids point to point, and they make a cube. So therefore, perfection is our ultimate goal for all creation. Yet, we would not have many different forms if we did not have a combination of the round and straight perfection of the sphere and the cube. And if you'll remember, the alphabet is nothing more than straights and rounds, and this is every alphabet on the face of the earth. Nothing can get outside of this type of thinking. You can try to draw a form if you want with a pencil and a piece of paper and see if you can draw a form that has neither round or straight lines in it. It can't be done. Humans are thinking with God. And how that works is the old familiar seesaw that I've always had for you, and the Father, eternal Father, and eternal Mother seesaw interchangeably back and forth. This is the body. This is the physical universe of blackness of space and light of stars, which is the Father. These two work together to create the body of God. God's body is visible. God's mind is invisible, just like your body is visible, but your mind is invisible. Now, we're going to change things slightly. You've seen this one before too. The Father is the curvature of the sphere, indicating heat and motion, and the Mother is the straightness of the cube. She does not move, but the Father does. She is eternal stillness, and the Father is eternal motion. And the two interchange each other in what we call the rabbit law, which I've explained on previous videos. The rabbit eats grass, the fox eats the rabbit, and the grass eats the fox. It is an interchanging system throughout all of nature. Space swallows up suns, and suns come right back out of space eventually. Now we're going to change things slightly. Instead of calling the red side over here Father, we're going to call it alkaline. And instead of calling it Mother on the blue side, we're going to call it acid. Okay, so we're moving off into these forms of the curve and straight. And right now I want you to look at your hands and see that your hands, the straightness of your fingers and the roundness of your fingers. You see, this is throughout all of your body. Your head is round, your eyeballs are round, you have straightness of the bone structure of your body, and your bone structure is closer to stillness than, say, a father organ, which would be the heart. The heart is pulsing. pulsing. It is in constant motion. As long as you live, your heart is always pulsing. Therefore, your heart is on the father's side, and your bone structure, the straightness of your bone structure, such as your jawbone and so forth, is the mother side. We'll get into that more as we move along. The alkaline side, or the father side, works with the mother side to create forms. Now, this does relate to our fresh new soil that's accumulating and building the surface of the earth or the ocean floor at this time. We have no continents yet. The ocean is not very deep. It exchanges with the atmosphere. There are times when the entire ocean is gone, and then it comes back, and then it freezes, and then it thaws, and so forth. There's a lot going on, lots of eruptions and so forth. The earth is just barely getting started, and the new cells are forming, and they become round. The sunlight makes them become round because cells want to complete themselves. Therefore, they divide. They complete the circle of themselves, then they divide in order to multiply. And that's a law of nature. Matter divides in order to multiply, and it multiplies in order to divide. Now, you may want to disagree with this, but just think about all your activities. For example, just the other day, I took some laundry out of the washer. It was completed its cycle. So I divided the laundry out of the washer and multiplied it into the dryer. When it was complete in the dryer, I divided the clothing, the laundry, out of the dryer in order to multiply it by wearing it. You see what I'm saying? It is a constant dividing to multiply, multiply to divide. You divide food from the grocery store in order to multiply it in your home. You then divide it in your home in order to multiply it inside your body. That is, everything you do is a multiplying, dividing, dividing, multiplying type of situation. Therefore, that is what happens with the elements of matter. They appear to be different substances, but they are not substances. They are waves of light interchanging with each other. And as I've said before, if you had an electric fan with silver blades flying around and around, those silver blades would become a solid disk. They would appear to be a solid disk. And matter appears to be solid, but it is not. It has to continually change. Therefore, your body is continually changing back and forth in order to appear to be real. The reality of you is the invisible part of you. Now, your thinking and God's thinking are basically the same. You work with the rounds and straights, and every tree, every mountain, every bird, every butterfly, everything in the universe is made of rounds and straights. Therefore, God's thinking and your thinking are one and the same. Another thing that I want to point out is that there are 5 of these elements of matter that compose 98.5% of all organic bodies, and that is silicon, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. All of those things are being built by our little earth as we move along and create form. And that's what form is all about in the organic world. Matter is not substance. It is light waves that multiply in order to divide, and divide in order to multiply. That's about it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this long video. Just to let you know, this coming Friday, I will not be uploading a new video because I'm taking my family down to the Ohio River, and we're going to enjoy the riverfront. And have a birthday party for some of my grandbabies. I'll be back next week to upload again. I will make up for it. Thank you so much and have a wonderful week. Goodbye.